guys, welcome back to Strength with Shan. That would be me. I'm Shan, bodybuilder, strongwoman, professional wrestler, and welcome to prep vlog week 2. Today is actually Tuesday the 13th of January. I didn't really film yesterday. I had a few things going on and it was just easier to leave the camera aside. So hope you'll forgive me for that. I kind of wanted to focus this week's prep vlog on my current focus, which is re-establishing my routine. So when I look back at my photo shoot prep a few months back, I had a lot of boxes that I needed to be ticking. Part of achieving that is making sure that you have time for it all. It's about carving out the time that you're doing certain tasks. And I look back at my routine and I had really clear sort of structure in my day, and it just made ticking my boxes really easy. Post photo shoot up till now, we've just been through the Christmas season. There's a lot going on. I didn't have as many demands to meet where routine was as essential. I needed to have the flexibility to make sure that I was seeing people and giving back to friends and family at that time, knowing that this year I have to be a bit more rigid and I might need to say no to more things. And my routine, being completely candid, went out the window. It was all over the place. And I found it really difficult to meet the fewer demands that I actually had. My main thing with coming back into prep was I really wanted to re-establish my routine. And then of course last week I was ill and that just completely threw a spanner in the works. The goal this week is just to structure my week out, how I want it to look, and just start following my routine. I also have a couple of new habits that I need to make sure that I'm finding time for. Predominantly is posing practice. The amount of times I went to shows last year and you could see the people that knew how to pose and spent time practicing and the people that didn't. For me, if I'm putting so much energy into this process and I want to get myself to stage, I want to be able to display my physique in the best possible way. So daily posing practice is now a non-negotiable. But of course, that needs to be built into my routine as well. This week, I'm just going to try and focus a little bit more on that personally and try and sort of bring you guys along for the ride as well. So this morning, I got up at about 6 o'clock. I got myself sorted and went to the gym and did my cardio. Came home, and while I was still warm, I spent some time on the yoga mat just doing some stretching, then do some posing practice, some posing rounds. And it worked quite well doing the mobility and the posing after cardio because I was warm. And then I showered after that to then sort of start the rest of my day. So already, before I've logged on for work at 8 o'clock, I've had 3 boxes ticked. Really helpful, and it feels like a really positive start to the day. I have blocked out my lunch break today, and I've had to be really rigid about that because I have a lot of meetings today. So it's blocked out, and that's a non-negotiable for me to go for a walk and get some steps. After work, I'll be going to the gym. I have an upper session today, and I'll get some more steps around that session as well. I'm gonna sort of show you some little easy tips and tricks to try and make things easier when you're trying to get yourself into a routine, and hopefully it will be a little bit of a helpful, informative video as well as a bit of a vlog. But right now I need to crack back on with work, so I will catch you guys in a bit. What I kind of wanted to show you guys is my daily planner. I use this on a Sunday usually. I try to look at the week ahead and plan out roughly my days, put in things that are important and happening. I use my work calendar to understand when I've got meetings in case that affects things like when I can take my lunch break and go for a walk. And yeah, I just put in the things that I want to do and make sure that I have time to do it. And it helps me just plan my time. And it also means that I can find time for other things as well. So really helpful, and this is the way that I like to work. Some people will use like a Google Calendar. You can use lots of different techniques, but find a way that works for you. So it's nearly midday. I'm about to go out for my walk, but it does look drizzly outside. It's certainly been chucking it down already this morning. So I've got my walking boots ready to go. I've got my big coat. It's not going to stop me. This is one of the things that we have to consider sometimes if we've got goals. Let's find solutions instead of making excuses. It's not nice, the rain, let's face it, but we live in England. There's a lot of rain. So if we want to get our steps outside, that's what we do. If you don't want to get your steps outside, you need to find another solution where you can get your steps inside. A walking pad. Maybe you can't afford a walking pad yourself, but you've got a gym membership with treadmill. Maybe you just need to make time to do that. Whatever works for you. Again, find your solutions. I'm gonna head out. I won't film out in the rain, but I'm gonna put my podcast on, get my steps, and I'll be back ready for my afternoon course. Hey gang, happy hump day. I've been to the gym and done my cardio, did my mobility and some posing practice. I have a little bit of time now before I crack on with my working day, so I'm going to plate up some of my meals for later today. A lot of the components are already cooked. It makes sense to use this little bit of extra time I have now to plate up some of the meals, so later when I might be a little bit tighter on time between meetings, I can just grab the food and it's already there ready for me. When you know what your day looks like, you can kind of make use of these little pockets of time and just help your later self out a little bit. That's what I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to shower and crack on. Hey guys, I was right this morning to think that I needed to prep some food for the day so it was easy to grab and go. Today has been absolutely hectic. This is why looking ahead to the week and planning in advance is really useful. The next couple of days are probably still going to be a bit busy, but I was aware of that and I've been able to prep ahead of time. I'm now heading to the gym to train legs. Although I've had a really long day and I'm kind of tired, I'm going to go train legs because that's what's left for me to do today. So I'm gonna go train legs. I'll finish off the rest of my steps while I'm at the gym as well. I did get out at lunchtime for a walk, but didn't manage to go as far as I would have liked. I needed to get back a bit quicker today. So I will just finish off my steps on the treadmill and start getting myself sorted for bed. It's now just after 8 o'clock. I should be winding down, but I went to the gym a little bit later to make sure that I got my YouTube video up. I am still in the habit of filming and editing as I go, so that's still a little bit of a work in progress in terms of my routine, but hopefully I'll be improving as I do more. I just need to have my final meal and then I will do a bit of prep to make sure my morning is nice and smooth tomorrow and I'm not having to faff about, so I can go straight to the gym and do my cardio and be ready to start work at 8. So I've already filled up my water bottle for the morning. I've left the supplements out. I'll add those first thing. If I was in a real time crunch, I might put any supplements into a funnel so that I can just literally pour the funnel in, but we don't need to do that just yet. I also take certain vitamins. What I will do is just fill up this on a regular basis, so each day's vitamins are already just together and I can just grab the day in the morning that I need it and go. That just speeds things up as well. It makes me feel organised. This is my other prep for the night before. This is the clothes that I'm going to wear to do cardio. And as an extra pro tip, I've basically used the same outfit that I wore to the gym today. I didn't sweat in it, so it's fine to wear tomorrow for cardio, and then I'll get home, shower and change into fresh clothes then. That's my cardio done for the day. It's just turned 7 o'clock. I'm going to get my bits and head home, do my mobility and posing, shower and log on for another busy day of work. I have a rest day today, so after work I'll have some free time. I've got a few bits that I want to get done at home. For me, even though it's a rest day, I try to keep some of my routine still the same. It also just reinforces that routine. If you're doing the same thing every day, it's just a lot easier to do it. Hey guys, apologies, I have been AWOL all day. It's now about 6 o'clock in the evening. Work was absolutely insane. But I was really, really grateful that I had stuck to my routine this morning, because honestly, if I'd put cardio off until after work, it would have been a bit of a mental struggle for me to get there today. I also had to take a shorter lunch break again today, so I took the opportunity after work to go out and get some fresh air, although I got absolutely drenched in the rain, so that was fun. I'm just gonna have my final meal of the day and then just crack on with a few bits and bobs, a few tasks I need to get done, and then get myself into bed nice and early. Another very mad work day in progress, but I've been really productive and managed to escape for a little lunchtime walk. The sun is shining and that makes it a lot easier to come out, to be honest. Yesterday the weather was miserable and it felt like a real mental battle to get myself outside, but I had a coat, so no excuses, but sun definitely makes it a lot more appealing. That's my cardio all done. I've been home, done mobility and foam rolling. I also did a very quick practice of posing, but my plan today will be to do some more rounds of posing after the gym. I have a coffee and I now need to crack on and prepare my food for the rest of the day. I know that work today is going to be another one that's a little bit go, go, go. So gonna do what I can to help myself out. I've got pull session at the gym later and then it's gonna be wind down and chill time. Something I have been doing is slowly bringing my alarm clock earlier and earlier in the morning. I've been wanting to get up a bit earlier, but trying to just move it by a massive amount is a bit of a shock to the system. So I've been sort of moving it sort of 5 minutes earlier every day and that's gone fine. Obviously my gym clothes were all ready for me this morning, so the thought process just isn't even in the question anymore. Get up, my clothes are ready, off I go. Really, really helps. I'm gonna crack on, make some food. Morning guys, it's about 5:45. I'm just putting my socks in my water and I'm ready for my final cardio session of the week. I think today is going to be quite a busy day again today, so I'm sort of keen to get back and try and do a bit of food prep before I need to be logged on for work and just set myself up for a good day. I think that's all I have to update you on right now. So I'll catch you in a bit. Happy Saturday guys. I finally made it to the weekend. I feel like we should be in February by now, to be honest. I feel like January has been going on long enough. It's only about halfway through the month, but I feel like it's been a really long January so far. Don't know if you guys agree. Let me know in the comments because I heard a podcast the other day and somebody was saying that January is going really quickly for them and I'm like, January is dragging. I don't know what they're talking about. So let me know how you're feeling about January. I feel like we should be done with it by now. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to touch base about my weekend and kind of reflect a little bit on the week just gone. It's been a really solid week for me. My routine has been ideal. I've been getting up, going to the gym, doing my cardio. I've been working. I've been trying to make space at lunchtime to go for a walk, which has been good. I've been able to get a lot of my steps at lunchtime and then I've been going to the gym after work. That's worked really, really well. The thing about the weekend is that obviously for me, where I work a Monday to Friday job, the weekend does look different and I have less of a demand on my time. And it's really, really important to try and maintain some structure that I have. For example, I still am getting up at the same time on the weekend and I'm still going to bed at the same time because that's just going to help me come Monday morning not struggle to get out of bed. And I remember listening to a lot of science on this a few years ago, and even just changing your bedtime at the weekend by half an hour to an hour can put you like in a jet lagged state. So I really want to avoid that. So I got up at normal time and I'll be going to bed at normal time. So that is fine. However, I don't need to do cardio today. I've done all my cardio for the week. So that's not part of my routine today. But likewise, I haven't been able to just get up, get dressed and go to the gym to just do my gym session because one, I'd need to have a meal before I did that anyway because I don't want to go to the gym without having a pre-gym meal. And two, my gym opens later at the weekend. And this is the case for a lot of gyms. A lot of gyms have shorter opening hours at the weekend, which is totally fair. But it does mean my normal routine doesn't persist into the weekend. I tend to find that my time slips a lot more at the weekend. I'm a lot less rigid, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But I think it's something that I need to figure out what my weekend routine needs to look like. So I do have certain things that I do every weekend. For example, today I will go and do a grocery shop at Lidl. That's part of my weekend tasks that I always do. I need to figure out what my weekend structure looks like, and that's going to take a little bit of planning. I also recognize that it's harder to establish a routine, for example, for a Saturday and a Sunday that's different from the rest of the week, because you aren't practicing it every day. With the week, you get 5 days in a row that all essentially look the same, and it's much easier to get those habits ingrained because you're repeating the process, whereas the weekend comes once within each cycle. We're going to work it out. It's fine. But for now, I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to watch a little bit more on YouTube, and then I will have my pre-gym meal, get myself dressed, and I'm going to be training push today. Hey guys, it is now 6:20. I've had quite a productive day moving some things about and organising. Since we've moved into this house, we've planned to decorate the living room. Then obviously with Christmas coming and things like that, we'd peeled off the wallpaper and then done nothing else with it. So I've moved most of the furniture now back out of that room again. We needed the space over Christmas, but now we can just focus on decorating. That's been my main focus today when I've been at home. I've also done bits and bobs of cleaning and sorting out some washing. Boring but necessary stuff. I had a push session earlier, that was fine. And I am now gonna go to Lidl. I left it later today, hoping that it's going to be quieter when I get there. The last couple of times I've been to Lidl, I have had supermarket pedestrian rage at people. So I'm hoping that by going now, it'll be quieter and I won't want to scream at people. Wish me luck. So a good haul from Lidl. I had to swap beef mince for chicken mince. It's still 5%. Because they didn't have any beef mince. That actually cost quite a bit less though, so I might have to talk to Emma about changing that permanently. I've still got some bits like in the fridge that I had in the freezer, so I didn't need to do like a full shop, but this should sort of see me through hopefully the week. But if I need to top up, I will just do a little top up in the week. I've had my final meal, so I'm going to do my final few steps on the walking pad now. I've put my grippy socks on to see if it will help it feel a little bit more comfortable under foot. I've also thought a little bit more about what I need to do tomorrow, what I want to do tomorrow, and putting a little bit of a plan of like when I'm going to do things. So I've got kind of a bit of a plan of action in my head. I'm going to crack on with these steps, then I'm going to go and do my bedtime routine, my skincare, and read and get out for the count. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Hello, it is now Sunday. I have been up, had a slowish morning and then trained legs, and I've just been to Square One to drop something off and pick something else up. While I'm in Hitchin, I decided to walk into town to get coffee and some steps, so that's what I'm doing now. Obviously a bit of a spanner in the works for my day. My tile warning light came on and I was able to pull over, and as you can see it was flat. I have tried the puncture repair kit that I have in the car, and unfortunately it's not worked, so I've had to call out a company to come and change my tyre on the roadside. Not ideal. I need to get home, I need to eat. Hopefully the guy will be here quite soon. He said that he shouldn't be too long, so hopefully I'll be back on the road soon and back home. Not ideal, but it is what it is. That obviously wasn't ideal, but it's all sorted now. The guy came out and has changed my tyre, and I've had to pay on my credit card because I was not expecting that cost, but it's what it is. It's all good. So I'm gonna head home now and crack on with my day. So I am home, I have eaten, and I have food prepped for the next few days. Just trying to set myself up for a good start to week 3 of prep. The tyre was not an ideal event today, to be honest, but it's changed now, sorted, and we move on. So the plan now will be to do a bit of editing and also plan a few bits and bobs for this coming week, go through my planner, write out my days and figure out what needs to be done and when, and start thinking about my weekend routine as well. Like I've said, it's definitely something that I need to establish better and make better use of my time. So step 1 of that is planning it out and creating, you know, the habits that I want to create. I need to figure out when it makes sense for those to be in my routine. So yeah, the big takeaways I think I wanted to leave you with: planning. They always say, you know, fail to plan, plan to fail, but it really does help. If you've got a plan of action, it's a lot easier to execute it. And, you know, things do go wrong. Today is a prime example of that with the tyre. But if you've got a plan, at least you have an understanding then of what time you might still have where you can wiggle things, or if you've got a couple of things to do, you might have to decide to prioritize something over something else and move it around. But if you've got a plan, you can adjust a plan. Whereas if you don't have any plan, it's really easy to spiral. That is my main thing that I've been doing probably for the last year or so, and it has made a massive, massive difference. Second tip comes from Atomic Habits, and it is habit stacking. Figuring out where habits fit with other things that you already do. Make it easy. It's a lot easier just to add something on than to try and create something new. So with me, it's been my morning cardio followed by mobility and posing. And I have noticed this weekend I've had to figure out when to do posing practice and mobility because it's not attached to the habit on the weekend where I don't have cardio. So that's something I need to figure out how that looks for me on the weekend. My third tip is preparation. Preparation is key. So once you've planned, you then need to understand what you need to do to achieve your plan. So for example, for me, I have a meal plan that I'm following, and then I have already done my shopping yesterday, and I've prepared several days worth of food today. You know, not every meal prepared, but a good amount of it. So it makes it a lot easier the next few days that I can just chuck stuff together on a plate, heat it up, and I'm good to go. Likewise, I'll get my clothes out tonight ready for my cardio in the morning. The next one is to track your habits. If you're trying to form a habit, you need to hold yourself accountable. If it's something you really want to establish long term, you need to be consistent. I have a whiteboard upstairs where I've got things on it and I tick what days I've done it. I have them on my whiteboard. My planner has a little habit tracker in it, but I use my whiteboard instead. Figure out a way of tracking it. That helps you look and see how consistent am I actually being, and you can hold yourself accountable. And if you are struggling to stay consistent, it gives you the chance to analyze it a little bit deeper and maybe figure out what it is you need to do to make it better for yourself, make it easier. So hopefully this vlog has been a little bit of an insight into my routine and the habits I have and I'm trying to form. Hopefully there's some tips that you can use. Let me know down below if there's anything that you are going to try and implement, or if there's any habits you're trying to establish, or if you have any more questions about any of my habits and how that's going. Feel free to drop me a comment, a like, a subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna crack on with my Sunday planning. Thanks if you have watched this far, and I'll catch you in the next one.